Hi, I'm Chris Johnston from Work Visa Lawyers, and today we're going to have the August 2023 news updates for Australian immigration. We are one of Australia's largest immigration law firms and have a team of professional immigration lawyers and registered migration agents who can help you. This month we have the 189 and 190 updates, English testing changes, states offer cash incentives for certain occupations, 408 pandemic visa rolls on, and more. The 189, why are we waiting? We are waiting for the first round of the 2024 year. I suspect it will be a large round as there are 30,000 available allocations and Australian unemployment remains at a record low of 3.5%. State nominated 190 and 491s. Most states are still waiting for the allocations before they start issuing nominations. Tasmania is taking on registrations of interest, and the ACT is out in front of the pack and has already started giving out nominations. But the related invitations will follow from the federal government once they open up. The 408 pandemic visa rolls on. There were many worried people that the 408 pandemic visa would be stopped from the 1st of July, but it is still being granted now. There is no set date for when the federal government will stop giving out the 408 pandemic event visa. To qualify, applicants must be in their last 90 days of their current visa. They also must currently hold a temporary visa with work rights and have an Australian employer offering them employment. There were 93,000 408 visa holders in Australia in March 2023. And now the numbers must be even higher than that again. Temporary skills shortage 482 and the 186 employer-sponsored visa. From the 1st of July 2023, the minimum salary went up to $70,000 for both the 482 and the 186. There is also a new labour market testing exemption for the TSS applications for applicants that are UK citizens or permanent residents. Aside from this, the requirements for the temporary and permanent employer-sponsored visas remain much the same. There is a lot of anticipation in relation to the federal government announcements that they plan to introduce a reduction in the years needed to transfer to a 186 for permanent residency, which would reduce it from 3 years to 2 years. The department has said that it plans to make this change in December this year, but sometimes those deadlines can get extended if the department can't get it organised in time. Cash incentives for international recruitment. Construction worker cash. Western Australia is offering cash of up to $10,000 for both employers and applicants. There are 59 occupations, including construction project managers, architects, structural engineers, civil engineering technicians, bricklayers, carpenters, plumbers, tilers, electricians, and various heavy machinery operators. For skilled migrants, they will need construction occupation visa granted through the WA government and they'll need to be employed in construction. For employers, they'll need to sponsor a migrant in relation to a 482, a 494 or a 186. And that migrant must be working in an eligible occupation. Cash for health workers who relocate to South Australia. Interstate and overseas health workers who take up a job within 100 kilometres of the CBD will be eligible for $10,000. Those who take up a job in a regional location more than 100 kilometres outside the CBD of Adelaide will be eligible for a $13,000 incentive, while a $15,000 incentive will be on offer for those who relocate to remote South Australia. For more details, see the link in the description below. Cash for relocating healthcare workers to Victoria. There is an international travel reimbursement to help with relocation costs. It's $10,000 for healthcare workers who secure a role in public metropolitan health services. There's a $13,000 incentive for healthcare workers who secure a role in rural or regional health services. For more details, see the link in the description below. The Department of Home Affairs has been putting extra effort into investigating and sanctioning exploitative employers. More than 140 unscrupulous employers have been sanctioned by the Australian Border Force during the past financial year for exploiting migrant workers in Australian workplaces. There has also been a leak of former Police Commissioner Christine Nixon's review into visa exploitation. She makes a range of recommendations to reduce exploitation within the visa system, including many of the recommendations which have been around for a long time, such as stopping offshore unregistered people from running migration businesses. She also recommends ongoing higher funding for monitoring activities. VetAssess has a new system for priority processing. From the 31st of July, the priority processing system will change so that applicants with evidence of urgent need will receive priority when places are allocated. Applicants without an urgent need can still apply for priority processing. Once places are allocated to those with urgent needs, any remaining time slots will be given to those applicants in the queue on a first-come, first-served basis. Urgent reasons for an applicant to apply for priority processing include they've received an invitation from the Department of Home Affairs or an Australian state or territory which has an expiry date. Their visa expires within 8 weeks and they are unable to lodge another visa. They are turning 33, 40 or 45 within 8 weeks. Their English test results, IELTS or PTE, expire within 8 weeks. Their partner skills assessment or English test result expire within 8 weeks. These changes to receiving priority will be welcome because the priority system has really gotten out of control and it's become very difficult to secure priority from VetAssess recently. The excessive processing times for parent visas is a problem that continues to grow. There are now over 130,000 applications in processing, which on current yearly quotas of 8,500 parent visas a year will on average take about 15 years to be processed. In leaving the parent visa program the same, the federal government is taking a gamble. The gamble is that as the processing times get more ridiculous, people will stop lodging. But when it comes to your parents, you'll often do anything possible to help them to come to Australia. So people have kept lodging with the hope that processing will improve sometime in the future. With 130,000 applications now in the system, and let's estimate that at least 5 relatives in Australia are emotionally invested in each application, that means that this backlog is affecting at least 650,000 people. That's a lot of voters to annoy. So the parent visa processing backlog is becoming a big political issue as the backlog grows. See these 2 articles in the description for more details on the parent visa processing problems. English testing updates. Positive news for the IELTS test. The IELTS 1 skill retake is being accepted by the AITSL, which is the skills assessing body for teaching. So that means it will be easier to obtain the very demanding scores required for teachers. The news is not so good for TOEFL. The Australian Department of Home Affairs has announced that starting from July 26, 2023, the previously recognised English language test for Australian visa applications, TOEFL IBT, will be temporarily unavailable for visa purposes. Only valid TOEFL tests taken from prior to the 26th of July 2023 will be recognised for relevant visa subclasses. Question of the month. I've had many aged care related questions. Typically it's, should I study aged care for quick permanent residency? Well, the answer to this is that in most cases, no. If you are looking for a predictable and fast path to PR, aged care is not on the skilled occupation lists. The study does not lead to a graduate visa, the 485 visa. So when the 408 pandemic visa is gone, it will be difficult to stay and work in Australia after study without a graduate visa for those that have studied aged care. So why all the excitement? Well, there's a new aged care industry labour agreement. This allows sponsorship for employer-sponsored visas. Securing sponsorship and making it through to permanent residency can be difficult. We will make a detailed video about the Aged Care Industry Labour Agreement, and that will be available soon. That's the news for this month. Probably the most interesting part of the news was the cash incentives that are being offered for healthcare workers and construction workers. If you've got relatives or friends that might benefit from that news, please pass the word on. If you find this video helpful, please click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.